You're ready to go.
Toddlers are fun-loving kids. They run outside, they get in filthy places, and they do not the healthiest things most of the time. Whenever they do get dirty, sometimes they get sick. They start sneezing, coughing, get red noses, and of course their parents want to help them. So they go to the doctor, and they demand for antibiotics to help them. Sometimes the antibiotics do help, but most of the time the parents just want them so they can feel like they're helping their kids. Most parents don't know that antibiotics could be doing nothing for the children. Sometimes the best remedy is time. H.L. Mencken once said, "For every complex problem there is an answer that is clear, simple, and wrong." Today I would like to share how giving antibiotics to children could be doing more harm instead of good. By giving antibiotics to children, it could be doing nothing. If it's bacterial, the antibiotics do help, but if it's virus, they do not. The three main points of child antibiotics I will go over are first the problems of taking the antibiotics when unneeded. The second is the causes of why antibiotic problem is ruining toddlers' health, and then the solutions of how we should stop taking the antibiotics. First, the antibiotics are misused. Parents think antibiotics should be given every time a kid is sick, which is wrong. Antibiotics kill bacteria, not viruses. So if the parents give the antibiotics to the children, it is most likely building up their immunity to the virus. So the next time they need a real antibiotic, it will need to be stronger. According to health.vic.gov.au, viruses that are given antibiotics that are more given antibiotics than any other are the common cold, bronchitis, tonsillitis, ear infections, and influenza. So if you do give them antibiotics when it is viral, then it sets them up to be a subsequent bacterial infection, also known as upping the virus resistance to antibiotics. Writers of the article of Antibiotics in Kids Avoiding Overuse on www.whattoexpect.com say that those are the viruses. Now I will share how child antibiotics is not used correctly. When needed, requiring another antibiotic, making the first one not needed. Most of the time, it is used incorrectly by not carrying the prescription out completely when it is needed. So an example of this is starting an antibiotic prescription only to stop in the middle of the dosage. This could cause the virus to return and needing a stronger antibiotic. According to www.to-know.int, 25% of toddlers' viruses are becoming more and more immune to antibiotics, which will cause them to get sicker in the future. Now that we have talked about how the antibiotic is being misused by either using them when toddlers shouldn't or how they aren't taken correctly when they are needed, we can talk about the reason this antibiotic problem exists. To start, one cause our doctors prescribing the medicine aren't for the children just to get the parents off of their back. For example, according to Dr. Michael L. Barnett, lead author of the article on onthechart.blogs.cnn, and Dr. Jeffrey A. Lindy, senior author of the article, found that prescriptions for sore throat and bronchitis are viral and are not needed, and those are more common than they should be. The major cause is that this is the major cause and that it could be stopped. Secondly, parents want the prescriptions just to feel like they are helping. Most of the times the prescriptions for the toddler is viral, or most of the time they prescribe the antibiotics because of parental pressure. If parents walk out with a prescription, they feel disappointed and keep going until they find a doctor who will give them a prescription, which will cause them to lose money for the doctor's appointment and, again, the toddler getting sick. This also leads to antibiotic overuse in communities, and yeah, this leads to antibiotic communities in toddlers, which is going up and up as the years progress. If parents realize that when the doctors say no, it means no, the parents are just hurt, and the parents are just hurting the toddler, this problem could be handled. Now that we have talked about how pushy parents and prescription happy doctors are the causes, now we can talk about how we can fix this problem. To begin, doctors to only prescribe the antibiotics if necessary to the toddler. If doctors didn't give out the antibiotics for free, superbugs wouldn't exist. Superbugs are bugs that grow and become very strong because of antibiotics building up the immunity. This problem would cease to exist entirely if doctors did not give the antibiotics for viral sicknesses. In order for this to happen, the steps needed are to get doctors to stop prescribing for viral sicknesses and no to parents. According to www.cbsnews.com, 60% of doctors prescribe antibiotics for strep throat. This is a viral sickness, and a large number of doctors are prescribing again for the parents. By stopping giving antibiotics to toddlers, 60% could go down to 0%. In summary, I hope you realize that while stopping in middle of dosage and using antibiotics are being misused and not needed are the main problem. I also hope you realize that the cause of this problem are that doctors prescribe them to please the parents of toddlers and parents themselves. I would also like you to think if doctors didn't prescribe antibiotics when needed, or if they did prescribe when needed, and if parents thought of other solutions that could be the problem. If we could fix this problem, toddlers could be fun-loving kids all the time, even if they are sick. By doing toddlers the favor of giving them better medicine for sickness, we could stop the development of superbugs as well. Please think about antibiotics by letting the toddlers use it if recommended for the health, so we could use antibiotics safely.